Alright guys, Carrick 8 Peaks Round 2. A showdown between Clan Angrund, who shall be led by Grombrindle. And it looks like today, my friends, he shall be facing off against the dreaded Greenskins, the ancestral foe, who shall be led by Slade X and Skarsnik. So certainly going to be quite a bit of fun in this community showdown. Now for the dwarf build here in the front line, let's go ahead and take a look. It is going to be Belegar himself, and as far as Belegar in this matchup goes, I don't think he's as good as some of the other dwarf options, because having extra AP against Greenskins is pretty useful. Oftentimes Greenskin players will come in with as many Black Orcs as they can afford. So having a little extra AP on let's say Grombrindle or even Thorgrim I think is a little bit better, simply because of the AoE buffs and his durability. But Belegar is very cheap as well, and he does have some cool items and some combat prowess as well. So he's certainly no slouch, and he's very tough to kill. His melee defense is incredible, 120 armor, silver shields. He definitely knows how to party. We do also have Halkenhoff Stonebeard, someone you don't see terribly often. This is going to be one of the ghostly Dowie Thanes. Certainly a very cool character, and having magic, or not magic, but ethereal ghost units against Greenskins, way back in the day, it was like the hard counter against Greenskins, because they didn't really have any way to get consistent magic damage, and it still is a bit of an issue. Granted, Greenskins do have a couple decent tools now. Gaze of Gork and Vindictive Glare from the Goblin Caster, and also Fist of Gork does imbue magic damage, so if you have a big Wa caster, you can basically find the ghost character, surround it with something, cast Fist of Gork, and it will go down very quickly to that magic damage. So they got some tools for sure, but nonetheless, it's a terror-causing unit on the dwarf roster, which is very nice. We'll see how he does. So front line is going to be Longbeards. It looks like Longbeards into the Sunset. Personally, I think these are the best units on the Dwarven roster in terms of a multiplayer battle. Just very cost-effective, very durable, and can usually trade upward pretty well. On the flanks, a couple Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, it looks like, to help chip away at the Black Orcs. And of course, Black Orcs are going to be the big threat. So having some AP missiles in the form of Thunders, Rangers with great weapons, is going to be very, very essential here. In the back, Slayers, and it looks like a wild Gyrocopter. Yes, Gyrocopters with these steam cannons, which are pretty good at clearing off Goblin Archers and light armor. That's pretty much it for this army. Very, very cool stuff. Thunders and Rangers with great weapons to deal with Black Orcs, a couple of Slayers for the defense, and Longbeards shall be anchoring the front line. Now for the forces of Slade X, the Goblins of 8 Peaks, Night Goblins, Twig Hoppers in the back, and it looks like in the front it is going to be Black Orcs. Crimson Killers are coming to party. 3 Black Orcs, 2 Doomdiver Catapults actually, so it looks like Slade, or 3 triple Doomdiver. This is madness. It looks like Slade may have been expecting perhaps a very boxy formation. I have seen Grombrindle play in the past, and he likes to play, way back in the day. He used to play a little bit more defensively, but I've noticed his playstyle has switched quite a bit. But the Doomdiver is certainly quite punishing against boxes. I don't know, he might be memeing a bit with these, I'm not really sure. But regardless, Doomdivers will be able to hunt down the Gyrocopters and, of course, can, pound pretty much any target they hit. They did get a buff to their AP values relatively recently as well, so certainly not bad. On top of that, Skarsnik coming in with his Shanka. He's got some Orc Airboys in the back, Black Orcs, and that's pretty much it. Invested a ton of money in those Doomdiver Catapults, 3 of them, and we'll see if they pay off. So a couple Wolf Rider Archers as well, which are a staple against Gyrocopters. So the battle is underway here. It looks like some Greenskins have found their way into the front line. It looks like the Unbreakable Night Goblins. So the reason why he sent these guys in, because number one, they're unbreakable, but mainly he wants to halt the Dwarven advance and buy some time for those Doomdiver Catapults to really tear into the enemy lines. And you can see here, Doomdiver Catapults do appear to be going after the Slayers, or great weapons maybe? Hard to tell, let's watch here. It looks like it's going after the great weapons. I think he's doing this just to make sure that his Black Orcs will be safer. Granted, now that the Rangers are available in open targets, they're visible because of course they do have stock. Being able to take out the Rangers would probably be the next best thing, because those great weapons really are going to hurt these Crimson Killers. So here they come, 7.4, and more volleys are going to be coming in. Orc Airboys are going to be pouring some fire into them. And a response here, and it looks like Marked by Althar is active as well. So certainly they're going to be very squishy. Their armor is 80. Even these Dwarven Longbeards are probably going to be able to finish them, not finish them, but at least put some huge damage on them. In the back here, you can see the Doomdiver Catapult is being taken out by the Gyrocopters, and the mighty Dwarven Cavalry coming around the flanks. The Slayers are going to be pressing in, and this is going to be tough. I mean, they'll probably kill this Catapult, be able to get into some of the Archers. A very, very rough flank collapse here for the Greenskins right out of the gates. Now in the front, Longbeards are still fighting against Crimson Killers. Crimson Killers, even while being debuffed, are probably getting some decent kills. Probably one of the most pound-for-pound strong great weapon units in the game. And Fist of Gork is activated. It looks like, no, sneaky stabbing. So these Slayers, if they actually stay here, are going to be getting just massacred by the Black Orcs. Obviously, they lack the AP, but really good control here by Gromby. He does pull back the Slayers and is able to basically waste and bait that magic out from the Greenskins. So beautiful play there. In the meantime, Raiders on the other side having some problems. Orc Airboys doing quite a bit of damage. Yeah, you can see these Althar's Raiders are getting worn down. Longbeards might be able to get through the Black Orcs, hard to say, but it looks like they are wavering, and as the support does fade here from the Althar's Raiders, it's going to be a better situation for the Greenskins. And here we have some Dwarf Warriors chasing off those missile pieces. In the back, we have Belegar and the Ghost Lord, who spent a little bit too long fighting goblins. The last goblin is shield bashed by the proud True King of Carrick 8 Peaks, and the balance of power is actually evening out quite a bit as the Dwarven advance is faltering a little bit. You can see here the Dwarf Warriors are in combat shoulder to shoulder with the Slayers, but they're fighting a fairly healthy unit of Black Orcs here that has all 60 models. And the Doomdiver Catapults are all shooting for the most part. It looks like, yeah, all 3 are back online here, which is really rough for the Dowie, providing a lot of nasty focus fire. Now, something else to consider here is the Dwarves still have their Gyrocopters. They still have a couple units of Slayers, one back here, one here, and also the Gyrocopters and the characters are causing a lot of problems. So even though it's looking a little bit tough for the Dowie here, I think the bounce power does reflect that. I think it's still a very even game. So the Black Orcs are going to be surging in to meet the shield wall of the Dwarven Longbeards. Certainly a matchup that will favor the Black Orcs very, very heavily. Over here we have Skarsnik fighting Slayers. Skarsnik is infantry sized despite his giant squig, and the Doomdiver Catapults tearing apart the Rangers back here, actually breaking them. Skarsnik should be able to win this fight here if he stays, but I don't think he wants to because these characters are coming in. Belegar and the Ghost Lord certainly will put a bit of a whooping on Skarsnik. Skarsnik is more of an anti-large specialist. He's not going to be as good at straight up like fighting as Belegar is. Belegar, of course, has Revenge Incarnate and some really crazy buffs that can make his weapon damage quite insane. So this could be a moment for the Dwarves to get back in the game. Currently, bounce power is certainly in the favor of the Greenskins. Archers are in good shape. One Doomdiver is finally pushed off, but over here the Greenskins are also quite stable as well, as Dwarf Warriors are piling in. Granted, the Slayers might be able to bunker bust this. There's only so many Black Orcs left. There's a fully erect group of Slayers coming in. Definitely got some grudges, some grudge chubs over here, and should be able to put down that Doomdiver Catapult. Plus, also, Skarsnik is getting whomped on, so this looks like it might be able to be a comeback here for the Dwarves. Doomdiver Catapult's trying to lend some fire support. A couple Slayers still chasing. It looks like only 2 of them, so maybe they'll get picked off by the Doomdivers. And yes, the Slayers are down for the count. Skarsnik is faster than Belegar, 34 to 32. I'm surprised he's so slow, though. I feel like Skarsnik should have like 40 speed, considering he's kind of squishy, and that's his whole thing. He's a Goblin. Goblins should be a little bit quicker than Dwarves. And here you can see Dragonback Slayers are pushing up. Some of the Goblin Wolf Riders in the back, still a little bit of ammo, are pushing into the Dwarven missile pieces, but this is a nice play here by the Greenskins, but it's looking a little bit tough. Doomdiver Catapults are getting compromised and pushed on, and obviously having lost Skarsnik, Belegar being very healthy, and I don't see any magic damage in sight. I mean, Sneaky Stabbing does not imbue magic damage like the Fist of Gork, and I really just don't see how they're going to be able to kill Halkenhoff Stonebeard. I mean, even if everything else goes here, I think if the entire Greenskin army were still alive, like what we see here, maybe they could take Halkenhoff with the Black Orcs. But I mean, with the other dwarves nearby, I simply don't see what's going to be able to take out Halkenhoff. He's just such a linebacker, of course, with that ghostly, ethereal defenses. Dragonback Slayers going to be charging in, a couple being last samurai'd by the archers. The rear charge here will be very punishing. And the Black Orcs won't break immediately, but this is going to be kind of the beginning of the end for these Black Orcs as they start to take a lot of damage here from the very angry Slayers. Also being pounded here by Halkenhoff. And Doomdiver Catapults, though, lending some nice fire support again, helping to pick off some of the Dragonback Slayers. And Itchy Nuisance might be able to salvage this situation. Very nice play, lowers their weapon damage and their melee attack, 24 and 38 respectively. Certainly quite a big nerf. But the Silver Horn of Vengeance is blown by Halkenhoff Stonebeard. The charge bonus, not going to help now that they're in combat, but it sounds very cool and certainly is a fun situation. So where's Belegar? Belegar is right here. He's coming back to battle. Skarsnik is being chased off by a gyrocopter. It looks like, yes, I think so. Let's go and double check this. Very, very good control there by Gromby, making sure to chase that bad boy off. And now back on the battlefield here. Belegar's back in business. Mighty Oathstone is popped. And suddenly the Slayers are going to be a little bit tankier, but the Black Orcs are holding well. The Itchy Nuisance really able to help that situation, but I think these characters should be able to grind this out. Granted, Belegar is taking some of those big great weapons to the face. Oh no, these are the Crimson Killers. They've come back. They're back. I'll be back. And they have 45 melee attack, 50 weapon strength. These guys are actually going to be able to womp on Belegar and maybe kill him. So suddenly I think there's a glimmer of hope here for the Greenskins as these 15 Crimson Killers getting a very, very good surround here. But the Revenge Incarnate is popped as well. Belegar is rocking 705 weapon strength. And Belegar's cry for vengeance breaks the Crimson Killers. And they run for the hills. Man, what a battle. Itchy Nuisance popped once again. Black Orcs finally getting worn down. Dragonback Slayer still going somewhat strong. 17 models against 28 of the Black Orcs. But the Black Orcs here are like the last bastion of screening here for the Greenskins. At some point, they're going to have to send in their Orc Airboys to kind of fight this fight. And that is not going to be a good situation for them. So let's look around here. In the back, we have more groups of Magi Marauders who are doing a great job. Really good control there by Slade, chasing them around. And over here, Skarsnik is going to break off. It's funny, because if Skarsnik came back, he might actually be able to win this fight against the Gyrocopters. He would probably 100% would. But it looks like he is chased off the battlefield. The Warlord of 8 Peaks. Of course, that's truly a Goblin thing, right? You're losing the battle, you run, you scheme, you come back, you try again. That's how the Goblins roll. But now Belegar and Halkenhoff Stonebeard, him and his ancestor charging in. Certainly going to be trying to push off the Orc Airboys, but charging into a torrent of fire as the Orc Airboys pepper into the ghostly armor. With Halkenhoff Stonebeard, Vindictive Glare coming in, maybe a little bit too late. It misses. The side angles are always a little bit tricky, and the Orc Airboys honestly, you don't hear this terribly often, but it looks like they're going to be terror routed here by the dwarves. And we do have the Morgrim's Ancient Marauders charging in. I don't know, maybe if there's some really good missile attacks from the Night Goblin Shaman, if the orcs can last long enough, some black orcs maybe come back, and he's able to kill the ghostly character. Belagar could break just to being surrounded through attrition, but it's really going to take a hard carry from this Night Goblin Shaman. Also, there's a Gyrocopter coming in with pretty good ammo. It's really going to be able to pepper down these Orc Airboys, and you can see the terror routes going down, and that is going to be a victory for the Dwarves of Clan Angrund. Today, 8 Peaks belongs to them. So very well played to both these players. Both builds were a little bit memey, of course. We had Belagar, we had a Ghostly Ancestor, and of course, I think Slade, yeah, I mean, come on, Quad Doomdiver Catapult, that's pretty heavy metal for sure. We got to give him props. I actually thought there was only 3. So he came in with Quad plus Skarsnik, who is pretty weak against Dwarves, and put up a really good fight. Both players played a great game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that community cast. It was certainly quite a bit of fun. Well played to Grombrindle. Thank you for sending in the replay. And very well played to Slade X for trying to win with the dreaded Quad Doomdiver Catapult. What a hero. These guys are great. All right, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. We'll see you guys back with more content soon. Cheers.